Thank you so much, Jeff. It's always good to be here. And incomparable, I don't know.
Oh, come on. I've heard from your partners. It's incomparable, irreplaceable, irascible, too.
I have heard them say that there's no one like me.
Yes, they do say that as their eyes are rolling.
Hey, today, Jeff, I want to follow on our discussion that we had last time. We started our discussion talking about the family business when you finally decide, okay, we want to sell. We talked about the process of thinking about it and then thinking about engaging the investment banker. I want to deal with the next step in the process that people deal with in the acquisition process, which is the dreaded, the loved, the one and only, the incomparable letter of intent.
The LOI.
The LOI, the term sheet, the big coda. We can go on with all sorts of names. Basically, for those who haven't done it, which is most people in the world, after you've decided that you're going to go into a sale of the business or you're going to go that process, and after you've gone through a selection process looking at potential bidders, most often led by an investment banker, it's time, as they say, to start talking turkey. So what is the purpose of a letter of intent? Well, basically, it's very simple. It's before we spend all the time and all the money and all the resources of actually going into the due diligence, the purchase agreement, and all those things. Now, why people don't want to pay legal fees up front for this, I have no clue. But before you get into that, you want to know, and the immortal words of the game show, do we have a deal?
So it's the equivalent of, if it was marriage, taking the knee and saying, honey, will you marry me?
No, it's even better than that. It's not only that, it's honey, not only it becomes if we marry, what kind of house are we going to have? How much are we going to spend? And what are you going to pay for it? And what's the furniture going to be? And the like.
All in the LOI?
Not all in the LOI. Basically, in the LOI, you want the very fundamental part. One, what is the structure of the transaction going to be? That has huge tax impacts, whether it's an asset acquisition, a merger, a stock purchase. And we're not going to go in, that's a whole separate segment as to which one is better or worse, but what you're doing is we're picking it. It has big implications for the buyer, big implications for the seller.
What kind of ring are we going to get?
Exactly. Now, let's talk about the other thing. How much is the ring going to cost?
Exactly.
What's the purchase price?
What's the dowry?
Exactly. Oh, it's more than the dowry. I want the full fortune. No, but at this point, everyone thinks the LOI is just there to set the purchase price, but really, it does set the purchase price, but it also sets certain parameters. Sometimes someone will say, honey, I'm willing to do it, but I want you to earn the second part of our marriage. Basically, that's an earnout. What you'd have is I get X amount down when we buy, and then based on how the company performs, I may pay you more. Now, I will tell you first off, every professional on the sell side wants to avoid an earnout.
Absolutely, because that's not guaranteed money.
It's not guaranteed money, and it is nothing but rife for arguments, even in the best of situations.
Litigators like it, though, right?
Oh, my litigators adore it. It keeps them busy for years.
Right.
The problem...
It means they get to split up the assets 3 ways, both parties and the litigator.
But we get the bigger share. The main thing is that the problem really with an earnout is... who runs the business? How do you control the business on the earnout? How do you guarantee you're going to give me enough resources? And the person on the buy side says, wait a minute, I don't want to be spending all my money if the margin turns out not to be working. There are actually very bona fide reasons on both sides for wanting controls and whatever. And I cannot tell you the number of times we've done potential deals where people walk in thinking they're going to do do an earnout, and they drop it. I'll also tell you this, I've bought out more earnouts in my career than I've seen earnouts actually pay out.
Oh, I've seen earnouts